The best of money matters. Right Business.
Welcome to The Right Business, where we dive deep into the stories of trailblazers who dare to disrupt the status quo and find the gap in the market to find the right business. I'm Hongbin Jeong. Now, it looks like it's wedding season. A lot of my close friends, people around me, they're all getting married. Now, planning a wedding, though, with a third person's perspective, I mean, it's supposed to be joyous, but for many couples, it seems like it feels like chaos. You're juggling tabs, spreadsheets, Instagram saves, and endless vendor emails, half of which go unanswered. Now, that's the reality so many couples face today, not because they're unorganized, but because the industry itself wasn't designed to make things easy. So this is where Weddingserv steps in. Singapore's first true all-in-one digital wedding mall, Weddingserv is built to quiet the noise and bring back the joy between the yes and the I do. With vetted vendors, transparent pricing, deposit protection, and smart planning tools that sync across the whole journey, is not just another wedding directory. It's a complete rethink of how weddings can be planned. And to share more about how Weddingserv is changing the way couples plan their big day, we're joined by Grace Lim, Director of Weddingserv. Hi, Grace. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me, Hongbin.
Thank you so much for joining us. Well, Grace, the story of Weddingserv seems rooted in solving the overwhelming chaos, right, couples face when planning a wedding. What were the key frustrations you've identified in the wedding industry that no one else was addressing?
Well, Hongbin, how often do you roll your eyes when your friend says they're planning a wedding? It's no wonder, because the process is overwhelming. First off, where do you even start?
Right.
And which vendors can you trust? And how do you find them? Most couples head to wedding fairs or portals. But wedding fairs are high pressure and uncomfortable. Portals are mostly just directories with endless scrolling and little or no info on pricing, policies, and no easy way to see if the vendor fits your needs. So if you're looking for someone who carries petite or plus-size gowns, or somebody who can do halal catering, where do you go? What do you do? So by the time you've clicked through PDFs and profiles, you've probably already forgotten who you saw first. Then comes the tedious part, sending individual queries with your personal details, tracking who replied or who ghosted you, and piecing together all these vendor responses in spreadsheets just to make a decent comparison. And the difficulties don't stop there. Couples worry about losing deposits to unreliable vendors. You have heard of horror stories of businesses closing suddenly and taking thousands with them, and these stories are all too common. It's enough stress to overshadow the excitement of the big day. Finally, managing guests alone feel like a full-time job. Endless Excel, RSVP chasing, and seating plans all done manually. In short, wedding planning today is still manual, fragmented, and exhausting. Literally a full-time job with no pay.
Oh my goodness, you've really identified that correctly. It's really a full-time job with no pay. But from launching as a solution to quiet the noise of wedding planning to now serving over 100 couples, how has Weddingserv's mission evolved since the beginning?
We launched Weddingserv to cut through the chaos of planning. Endless research, messy spreadsheets, unclear codes. Couples showed us that they wanted more than convenience. They wanted confidence in their vendors, security of their payments, and ensuring that they do not miss out on critical planning steps. So today, Weddingserv is Singapore's first vetted wedding, you can call it digital wedding mall or wedding marketplace, where couples don't just find vendors faster, but they find the right vendors. Combined with our free planning tools, solving the noise meant addressing the entire planning ecosystem that goes beyond vendor discovery. We want to create clarity, confidence, and connection so couples can start their marriage on a beautiful note.
Well, I mean, some people might say, aren't there, already so many wedding directories and planning apps out there? How do you respond to that, Grace? I mean, what makes Weddingserv truly different from these so-called all-in-one platforms?
You are absolutely right, Hongbin. There are tons of wedding directories out there, not just in Singapore, but globally. But here's the thing. Most of them are similar to glorified yellow pages with pretty basic filters. They give you names and maybe some photos, then leave you to figure out the rest. Weddingserv is fundamentally different. Think of us as the booking.com of weddings. Firstly, every vendor on our platform is pre-vetted for quality, uniqueness of their offerings, or they can offer an exceptional value. For example, in quality, let me just mention a few of our vendor partners. So we have Amara Hotel Singapore and Wedding Planner Rosette Designs, and they were voted Best Customer Service 2025-26 by Straits Times and Statista. We also have, award-winning 1855 Group that brings in their restaurants, the Spot and Wakanui. We also have Design Creation, who is a pioneer in modern cheongsam and bridal evening wear. We also have Annabelle Skin in beauty care, and these are very, very long established partners who have clientele that spans across generations. So we're talking about, clients from grandmas all the way to granddaughters and grandchildren. So, for example, in creativity, we have Sovos Perfume, who is soon coming on board with us. So what they do is they turn wedding favors into an experience. They set up this chic perfume bar at your reception where guests can blend and bring home one-of-a-kind custom scent inspired by the couple's love story. So imagine you can do that. So it's all these fun and interesting things that we are discovering. Another creative partner is Patalo Cakery, who creates beautiful artistic wedding cakes. They are made with edible leaves and flowers made from scratch. For vendors who can create exceptional value, we also have Together Gems that offers top-grade gems without the retail markup because the gems come from their family-owned mines. So that gives you incredible value for those people who, want to buy very, very, top-grade gems. So for each vendor, we give tons of information that gives you sufficient basis to shortlist and start a conversation with. And only verified customers who actually book through us can leave reviews. So there's no fake testimonials. Secondly, so once we have gone through all that vendor vetting, we pay the same price. So the couples pay the same price going direct with us, but so going direct with the vendor as well as on the platform. But on the platform, they have the added security. The payments are held securely by Stripe, which is our third-party payment gateway, and only released after service delivery.
Okay.
So you have that peace of mind there. Lastly, unlike other platforms that dump you back into Excel drama, we give you planning tools that sync with each other, saving you loads of time and making everything seamless. So most directories give you names and they may ghost you, if you reach out. But Weddingserv gives you the confidence, transparency, and the entire planning ecosystem.
Very interesting. I mean, you mentioned a lot of the features there, such as synced planning tools, deposit protection, and vetted vendors. So how do these features actually simplify wedding planning and a couple's day-to-day experience?
That's a great question because I think this is the most exciting parts that couples can look forward to. There are 6 key features that will significantly save time and simplify the planning. So firstly, imagine a wedding planning without endless vendor research, waiting days for quotations, or chasing answers. Every vendor displays their pricing, their frequently asked questions, payment policies upfront in a consistent format, making apple-to-apple comparisons effortless and instant. If you're looking for A-line gowns, for example, all you need to do is to just filter by silhouette, and instantly you see only the relevant results. Hence, you don't waste time looking for the needles in a haystack. We bring the needles out of the haystack seamlessly. Second of our features is that our checkout card allows you to enter all the custom requirements that you have agreed to with the vendor, so that all the needs are documented properly to ensure that nothing is being missed out. And therefore, you minimize potential disputes and wasted time going back and forth. Next, our Smart To-Do checklist auto-aligns to your wedding date. So it can recommend a detailed to-do task by timeline. For example, what do you need to do 3 months to the wedding? What do you need to do 6 months to the wedding? Or what do you need to do as soon as possible? So if your wedding date is moved forward, the task priorities will realign itself. So the list can be personalized. You can add, edit, custom, add, delete tasks, and the status can be updated so that you can track the progress at any time. So fourth, we have the vendor manager, where you can enter your budget, and the system auto-pulls orders committed on Weddingserv and tracks payment milestones accordingly. There's also auto-reminders for when the next payment milestone is due. So everything is very naturally done. You don't have to update any spreadsheets whatsoever. You haven't heard me mention one word about spreadsheet. Fifth, the most powerful feature is probably our robust guest management, where it makes RSVP and seating effortless. You can import guests in bulk, assign them to multiple events. For example, you have a church ceremony, wedding banquet, and you can send custom RSVPs with one click to everybody. Each guest only sees their invited events. So your cousin will see all the 3 events that you invite them to and your colleague will see only just one. So there's no need to send separately. RSVP responses are auto-updated with meal preferences, allergies, custom requests. So all you need to do is to just simply export as a summary report and share that with your venue. There's no manual tracking, no Excel sheets, no couple's website to maintain, simple and clean. For seating, you can categorize your guests, such as bride's family, groom's family, to easily assign the entire groups together. Then you can create custom table layouts, then drag and drop the groups into seats with automatic seat numbering. On the event day itself, your guests can simply scan a QR code to see their table and seat number, so that last-minute changes will not disrupt your logistics. So finally, there is no more chasing vendors individually on the eve or day of your wedding, because this is when your nerves are already at their super peak. Simply fill out one wedding details form with all your logistics, timing, locations, last-minute changes to specific vendors, and all your booked Weddingserv vendors automatically see the information instantly. One notice serves all.
Right.
No need to WhatsApp, dozens and dozens of people, prior to the big day. So to summarize the key points of how Weddingserv makes it easy, first is no more vendor research and no more waiting for quotations. Secondly, document agreed requirements prior to booking your deal. Third, you have a robust checklist. And fourth, you have a vendor manager that tracks your budget and your spend. Fifth, you have a robust guest management that auto-tracks RSVP and easy guest sitting assignment. Lastly, day of communication, one notice serves all. Today's couples are super busy. Rather than wasting months on stressful planning, Weddingserv gives back time so couples can enjoy quality bonding before the big day.
And there will be no fighting before the big day, right?
That's right. That's right.
It really seems like, or sounds like, you just have to show up to your big day and that's all you gotta do.
That's right.
That should be the way.
And that
right?
should be the way.
I believe your bridal hangout is very different from the usual wedding fair that we usually see. No hard sells and more genuine connections. Why did you choose this approach, and what impact have you seen on couples and vendors?
Traditional wedding fairs are exhausting, with pressure to sign packages on the spot. Instead, we created intimate spaces where couples meet vendors as real people, over genuine conversations and showcasing their experience. As a result, couples have feedback that they feel really comfortable and they are not pressured like in a wedding show. And the vendors enjoyed building authentic relationships instead of, trying to chase sales. So this way, it stops being stressful and starts being exciting and fun for both.
Amazing. Well, is there a story that you can share with us? Maybe a story of a couple whose planning journey was transformed after using Weddingserv?
So basically, we are in the early stages yet, but the feedback that we're receiving have been incredibly validating. One couple told us, wow, this is truly a considerate system. It really anticipates our needs and saves us so much time. Another said, finally, someone who can underpromise and overdeliver, unlike the half-baked tools out there. But what's been most exciting is that I get a lot of comments from married women saying, why didn't this exist before my wedding? So that tells us that we are solving a real pain point that's been frustrating couples for years. The foundation is strong. Now it's about scaling adoption and building that trust at scale.
Okay, well then looking ahead, how do you see Weddingserv continuing to change the way couples approach weddings? Could this model expand into other milestones or, life events?
Weddingserv will continue to modernize the wedding journey by embedding technology that saves couples time, effort, and reduces stress. Beyond weddings, our flexible model naturally extends to other life milestones, from vow renewals, anniversaries, second marriages, corporate celebrations, bringing the same clarity, confidence, and convenience we've built for weddings into every important event.
All right. Well, before we let you go here, Grace, what's next for Weddingserv? Are there any new features you're most excited about?
We're happy to announce our newest feature, which is a concierge style service. So instead of forcing rigid one-size-fits-all bundles, we help couples mix and match vendors into custom packages, tailored to their style and budget. And here's the kicker. If a couple needs a specific vendor who's not yet on our platform, we'll source them anyway.
Okay.
It's about serving the couple first, not just our marketplace. Beyond that, we're exploring some exciting AI-powered features like virtual gown try-ons, interactive visual venue visualizers, and other fun concepts to make planning faster and more enjoyable. But bigger than features, what excites us most is what Weddingserv represents, which is a shift in mindset. It's about blending technology with genuine human service to create something the wedding industry has never seen before.
Looking forward to it. Hopefully, by the time I ever get a wedding, I will definitely use Weddingserv to avoid all that chaos that I've heard about. But anyways, thank you so much, Grace, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me today. I enjoyed this session.
Thank you. That was Grace Lim, Director of Weddingserv. This has been The Right Business with me, Hongbin Jeong.
Money FM 89.3